John 21:25, the last verse in the Gospel of John. Estin de kai Allah pola ha epoiesen ha Jesus hatina e an graphitai kathin ud autan oimai tan kosman koresai ta graphamana biblia. Here the author of the Gospel tells us, now many other things, we're going to say things because this is neuter plural, many other things also which Jesus did are. Okay, so we might smooth it out and say there are many other things also which Jesus did, but really the subject here is many other things, right? Many other things are, and you might have expected this initial verb to be eisen, to be a plural verb, to match a plural subject, but remember, neuter plural subjects frequently take a singular verb, but we don't do that in English, so that's why we're translating are. Now, there are also many other things which Jesus did, which, if there's a subjunctive, it's actually a passive, present passive subjunctive, which if they were written, again, continuing with a third-person singular, even though we're referring to these many other things, which if they were written according to one, that's a distributive idea, one by one, if they were written down one by one, ud oimai, I do not think, I do not suppose, right? This is contracted form of oiomai, to think or to suppose, negated. I do not think, I do not suppose the world itself. Notice how ton kosmon is intensified by auton. I do not think the world itself would contain, that's from the verb koreo, to contain or to hold, would contain the books in the sense of documents, not stack of papers bonded on one side, but I do not think the world would contain the books written, the books that had been written. Notice here at the end, it's a little confusing, isn't it? We have this verb oimai, think or suppose, and then we have the infinitive expressing what is thought or supposed. That's called the infinitive of indirect discourse. So if we did it literally, it would be almost, we couldn't understand it, right? I do not think the world itself to contain the books having been written. But in English, we're going to smooth that out as a that clause, because that, what is the content? I think that. I do not think that the world itself, here's the accusative subject of the infinitive, I do not think that the world itself would contain, would hold the books that were written.